point out is actually the heal distribution, where the Demoman heals were distributed evenly on pretty much both sides, whereas Daleth on BFF side actually took a whopping 3,700 heals, and looks like we're now actually live. Following Super here, as he's coming through this choke, gets a nice early sticky on that scout. Getting pressured by the scout on the left, but his scout is going to quick to shut him down. Yeah, it is Greg that gets taken down. But Super is taken down in return. Salmon getting a pack, trying to look for this bomb, and the demo med does jump in onto Cadis, does some really good damage for him. Is he going to get in with the equalizer? No, he's not. As really good positioning by Vinland, BFF won't really be able to do anything here, so just well executed by Vinland with that re-entering roaming soldier.
Yeah, it's interesting. The soldiers from BFF had some real great plays on the middle of that. In the beginning of that middle, but they just didn't really take control. And it looks like Vinland are just going to move straight onto second. They've got the cap time already. Jose playing really defensive over in this corner, just avoiding snipers and such from top, and they're just going to take second point for free, which is definitely not what BFF are wanting. But Skeej did make it out of that middle, so they're going to be able to hold the lobby. It looks like Cadis is holding forward with these stickies, and we have one soldier holding on the riverside who could get caught off here. He's very extended, but he manages to take down a scout and escape, so it's well played to him. And that's going to delay the Vinland push a little bit, or at least diminish their efforts when they Uber in. And in fact, where are they? I have no idea where they're hiding. I guess they're top. We have one soldier top from Vinland, yeah, and the medic is top.
Oh my god, is this offensive pyro? Is this what I'm seeing? Am I getting oh, Drake, why do you tease me so? I love the offensive pyro. Oh, such a shame we didn't get to see that.
That would have been interesting to see. It's not really something you see a lot in EU, Pyro and Last. We see heavies and snipers often, and occasionally spies, but rarely ever the other classes. So, yeah, the Uber comes in from Riverside right now. They're going to do a lot of early damage to Flisco, and he goes down before the Uber comes out from Skeej. This Uber, Cadis kills Rake in the Uber, and Vinland have just dropped back. I think they're going to try and re-push with their advantage. They have a man advantage with the soldier down. They can probably outspam them on this close last point, but it looks like they're just going to opt to back out and recycle with the Uber. Cadis has put Sticky back up on the point, and the bomb comes in from Salmon onto Skeej, and he manages to take him down. They get a couple of frags in return, and a lot of pressure on the point, but it looks like Jose is alone here, and they're going to chase him out. Dalef goes down to a nice crossbow and from Jose, and they're backing out, but it doesn't seem like anything is going to be able to chase them. So if I were Jose, I'd be way further back than they are now, and yeah, it's safe now if we choke. So they're going to have the Uber advantage pushing into the last next time, and it's just going back again to what they're trying to do. They're always trying to keep this Uber advantage, and so far it's worked out for them.
Yeah, just well played by Vinland there to actually kill the other medic and just preserve their medic, as they are coming up on 100% Uber now, and they're just one way they're going to push this probably through the high right, maybe with a soldier and scout, as Dan is poking. Nope, looks like an opt through the riverside and just lead on two scouts, as both scouts are grouping up here. Calling for the Uber, scout does come in, that is Delzik. He's going to just be looking for Cadis, as Cadis does back up behind the point, but he does get taken down. Nice work by Delzik there. Super with the return kill on Greg as well, and that's just Vinland huge positioning, as Cadis did get taken down early, and that's 1-0 in favour of them, and yeah, this is looking pretty grim for BFF.
It was a really smart push for me. They knew Cadis was in the water, they just rushed two scouts with Uber straight at him. They get the early pick on him, and then there's pretty much nothing that can deny the point then from the spam. We have Super coming in from choke. In fact, both demos coming in from choke, although Cadis isn't really getting any early damage at the moment, and the Vinland scouts have got a bit more freedom than the BFF ones. The early frag comes out on both Roman soldiers, so neither of them having enough of an impact to do anything. Dalef goes down as well to the scouts of Vinland. And it's just looking like a war of attrition at the moment, with the bomb comes in from Darn, Cadis goes down, and that's going to be the mid surely to Vinland now. Skeej managed to escape again, so it's not going to be a roll into the last point, and in fact, Kyler doing work on the midpoint manages to get the frag on Delzik, and they're still holding them from capping. Kyler's in fact going to go behind, take a health pack, see what he can do. He's in their bottom lobby right now, and I think Vinland are going to just look to try and take the point. In fact, they're playing so defensive because they know Kyler's behind, so they're going to get caught and take a lot of spam. They've had to use their Uber. Flisco doing work there, making them pop way before they would have liked to.
You know, nice play by him there, as Kyler is coming in and trying to get a flank on this medic. Unfortunately does get taken now, but meanwhile the counter Uber coming in for BFF. Meanwhile, Jose does actually get taken out by a nice long-range sticky by Cadis. Rake with the return frag on Greg, getting caught out of position there once again, as Cadis is lucky to get held up as the scout is behind, does get a hit, nice pipe, and does finish him off with a beautiful second pipe. Super entering in here with this soldier down, looking for kill this medic. That's not going to happen, as he does get him to 50 health, but he does get taken down. And that's a lot of men down for Vinland, losing players extremely late. They're going to be hard pressed to try and contest this second point, as never mind, BFF has still not even capped this mids, but they're sitting up towards the second point speed.
I feel like they're having some trouble just getting the cap nice and quickly, because they often have this advantage and they just give it away because their timing on their cap is pretty slow. So Skeech has the advantage again here, and I'd like to see him try and push into last with it. It's a nice 30% advantage, but will they manage to get in fast? They have a few seconds, but right now it looks like they're just wasting a bit of time, and Jose will probably get this as he comes in. The Uber comes in now and he has 4 seconds to pick it up. He's just going to try and play defensive. If they manage to pick Darn, then this is all over for them, really. But he gets the Uber and the return, but they've got a nice few frags in this. Skeech goes down, so if Vinland hold this point, they do have the Uber advantage. And Cadis hiding behind the spawn, gets found by Darn, gets picked. Something just gone into water as a soldier comes bombing in. I think that's, yeah, Dalek and Kyler. They both come in, but they both get cleaned up, and that's a full team wipe for BFF. Vinland are just going to come in and take the second point here, pretty much for free. Let's see if, is Greg playing anything different? No, he's just playing the standard scout and he's charging the Uber with Skage, which is quite a wise decision. They give up a little bit of Uber advantage, but they save a lot more by having that scout.
Yeah, Vinland can actually easily take mid here, as 3 spawns only just coming out for BFF now. They're going to be late to get into positioning, as Super is going to hopefully come and sticky up this choke in the next couple of seconds, as just following Flisco. I thought he was just going to try and do something, but that is him backing out towards his upper, and yeah, really even Ubers right now on Vinland and BFF. So we're going to have to see how Dan wants to use this, if he wants to push the choke, as he's kind of easing his way towards that. No stickies, no contest whatsoever by BFF at the choke, so they're going to just opt for this fairly passive second floor hold. You know, Dan just jump in, and Soldier does jump in on Vinland. Medic,
oh, and Jose drops.
Wow, nice play playing there.
That was a crucial drop from Jose then. They had so much time, and it's just him again trying to hold on to Uber and not pop it before Skeech does, and he gets the drop. Although, having said that, they've lost a few players now. It's just they're all coming in for the medic, but it just seems a bit disjointed. One scout's backed off, one soldier's gone down, and they're coming in together now with a soldier of Darn on the point as well. But I think they're just going to get cleaned up here. They're just going down one by one, and that's going to be very late deaths for Vinland. So BFF will look to take the mid easily now, and in fact they might even be able to push on to second if they manage to take mid quick enough.
You know, nice work by BFF to just take the Cadis with a really aggressive jump, trying to catch Super out. That doesn't happen, unfortunately. As, yeah, slight advantage for BFF, coming up on 85% for Skeech, meanwhile 60% on Jose. As they're looking around this choke, Cadis is spamming his medical bind for the love of God. As Soldier, it does flank him, does get a nice stick in him, but doesn't finish him off, as Uber is used by BFF in a fairly disadvantageous position, as they do take down Rake, Salmon, and Darn. Nice 3-man pick there, as actually Uber was used on Skeech as well, and just that was really superior Uber play by BFF there, because Jose is using his Uber on the demo man, not really having much luck as he's trying to bottle this soldier, but that's not going to happen. Spawns should be coming in for Vinland next couple of seconds. Salmon with a really aggressive jump, and this is looking pretty scrappy.
Yeah, they've totally lost control of the water right now, so if they coordinate, they push well here. Neither team has the Uber, and they could easily come in and do a lot of damage, but it just depends on this heavy. I think they've got the heavy now, they've got a little bit more HP, a bit more reliable, and in fact, yeah, the BFF have just opted to back out. Flisco's holding close on the riverside just in case he can get a nice sneak pick, but Vinland are really tanking up now. They've got heavy and pyro, just looking to drag things out because they know that Skeech has the Uber advantage. And yeah, in fact he has the Uber now, and he will know he has the advantage. They're coming in early, they're focusing the heavy down. He's going to go down, surely. Yeah, he goes down to the scouts. Medic goes down. That's 3 early picks for them. The Pyro and the Soldier and Demo remaining. Pyro's doing well to defend the point, but he's going to go down. Cadis comes in with his nice stickies, cleans up, and that's just full team wipe for Vinland. Nobody even goes down on BFF side, and that's a nice round win for them.
Yeah, nice flawless victory by BFF as they just beeline straight for the heavy, which is the crux of that defense, and just completely decimating him and killing the medic as well. Gonna have to see what Vinland do in this mid. The middle, if I remember, looked pretty good for them. It was actually quite close, as they are gonna elect for a choke rollout. with their actual medic come in there. Meanwhile, Super does get some good damage on Cadis, who's stuck in the valley, but looks like Super is the first casualty of war. Salmon getting some nice damage on them as well, as Flisco does get taken down, but really weak by Salmon. But BFF players are too weak already, as Cadis is trying to just man mode it in here, but Delzik does take down Kyla, no smoke by him, and that's just BFF just getting far too weak, just eating too much damage, I guess.
I was quite impressed by the Vinland position in there. They were very defensive, but they managed to just hold the point and you know, get the frags who came in for their medic. Vinland, Dan has just got caught out pushing him through choke, so that's a pick for BFF. And I guess with the Ubers being equal, Skij is going to want to try and push into the point with this. So they're holding close, and Skij just like waiting and waiting on Cadis, and he's just waited far too long. Cadis goes down before he can pop his Uber, and this is an individual Uber with Skij with nobody to heal, so he's completely alone on the choke point. It's a massive mistake for BFF. They lose two more players, and that's pretty much gifted them the 3 point. Luciset have the Uber as well to push on to the last point, and they're going to really have to make something happen on this second to not lose last here.
Yeah, just as I was saying earlier, just medics deciding to not Uber players. It's generally better to just Uber the player as opposed to like letting him die and giving up that player and positioning. As yeah, 100% Uber for Vinland. They're going to be coming in through this high right area, roller door. Yep, Dan does get Uber, jumping in on this soldier with the help of this other scout. Does take him down, and just really solid positioning by Vinland. Like they're just keeping BFF just trapped in a very small area. They should just be able to clean this up pretty quickly, as Rake does take down Reg, but he did get taken down in return. Kylo just playing out of his mind right now, just trying to kill as many as he can, but Kaitis with a huge double pipe, which is actually going to clutch this defense. And that's just the end of that chapter for Vinland, and that was just off the pipe of Kaitis' huge double pipe there on Dan.
Yeah, that was really good. Cadis had a really strong position the entire time. Kylo was just jumping about on that top right side, not being picked, doing lots of damage and just creating a big distraction, which meant they couldn't focus Cadis on the point. Big bombing from Flisco on choke, and he gets the demo, but gets taken down by Rake on the sniper. So I imagine BFF are going to try and push here. Salmon comes in, gets a nice early pick, but he gets taken down in return. And it's 3 down for Vinland, and I think BFF are going to try and push in with this demo man advantage. And indeed, they're already in through choke. One scout's going behind from Vinland to try and distract, do some back cap. Yeah, he's on the back cap at the moment, but BFF are really quick to respond. Scout's behind the point, and surely he's going to get picked up by the scouts for BFF. Indeed, he goes down, and I think BFF are just going to return to their push now. They know they have the advantage here in men. Actually, they don't. I tell a lie. Super's already up. He's back in for a choke, and I think they're just going to play defensive. The Ubers are roughly equal. I don't think Siege is going to call a push on just a 10% advantage. So they're going to hold back, and they're going to hold tight on choke this time instead of holding all the way back like they were last.
Yeah, it looks like just a bit of a stalemate happening here right now, as scores are 1-1, so 1 apiece. As looks like Case is just having a little sneaky poke in here, just trying to get some damage, try and catch someone out, but unfortunately that's not happening. As yeah, really passive positioning by both teams, as it looks like Vinland are looking in through this big door area, busting in through with the scout and demo, just trying to catch a player. Flisco does get taken down, deals it with the return death, unfortunately, as looks like Vinland are pretty timid here. They could have probably just pushed into the lobby, as there was no one there at all. Salmon jumping around the choke, meanwhile trying to just be annoying towards Cadis and that scout there, but not much happening. It looks like Vinland are just going to concede that, so bit of timid positioning, I guess, as they just didn't want to try and go into that lobby area.
Yeah, both teams just trying to make something happen, and Vinland just testing the waters. The Uber comes in now from both teams, but I really favour BFF in this situation. They've got the single Uber in this choke point and done well to back out. He's taken a little bit of damage and the scout goes down, but Dalif has gone down in return as well. So there's a 2-for-1 trade, and Vinland are just going to get cleaned up now. The flank pushing in really, really hard from BFF. Some great play there. Really great coordination, and they're just going to take the midpoint pretty much for free now. With this man advantage, I don't know if everybody's going to get the forward spawn. They're definitely not, so BFF are going to look to take some cap time on the second point, even though they only have 3 players up. And Skeej is still down, so Josie's going to have the Uber advantage for second, but are they going to be there quick enough to defend it? Doesn't look like it, so they're going to come back for the recap, and that's a little bit poor from the BFF scouts. They didn't really just need to stay in for that cap. They could have just backed up with the extra cap time and looked to push afterwards. And with that, Vinland are just going to come back and hold the choke. Thankfully for them, Flisco managed to get the pick on Dan, and that pretty much just delays the push onto middle. Although, having said that, they're in through choke already. The scouts are already on mid. The bomb comes in from Flisco. He's already weak. Scouts just completely denied him, and Ray just takes him down easily. Jose was still over half HP. So yeah, it's a midpoint cap for them, and the Ubers are pretty much equal. So we're just into the opposite situation now, where we're just holding on the choke, and Vinland probably again just going to try and no, they're not going to try and make something happen this time. They're just Ubering straight in this time, not holding onto their Uber at all, and Skee's just going to have it for defense.
It's going to be used right now. Does try and charge it sticky, does hit the wall unfortunately. Not very fruitful with that crit streak as Salmon does take down Flisco meanwhile, but he does get taken down in return by Greg. But meanwhile the flank coming in here strong for Vinland, looking for some huge damage on Cadis. They do get it, but he doesn't die. Nice work by him, and just really well played by Vinland to just come in here charging through that flank after that crit streak just disintegrates. Not really much happening there. Dantes take down Skeege, and Cadis just trying to man up here, looking for nice pipes. Does take down Delzik. Huge plays by him there. He's buying some time for his team actually to try and get in here, but not very fruitful as Flisco has a bit of a poke, thinks the better of it, and that's 80% Uber advantage for Jose. So looking a bit dire for BFF right now, sitting on this last point.
It's a bit unfortunate. The crits came in really late and they just didn't manage to pick anybody off at choke, but there was a really great rotation from Vinland and that pretty much won them that point. The aggression from the flank, which BFF just weren't ready for, took down pretty much everybody, and now, as you say, we've got the Uber advantage situation, and the Uber comes in from Riverside again, opting for the same push, but this time Jose doesn't manage to keep the Uber on his scouts, and Kada stays in the water just sticking up the point. So they're going to have to back up with Amanda's advantage here, and they lose the demo on the retreat, so there's only just two people up, Dan and Jose, and surely BFF are going to try and chase this out.
Yeah, chasing up through this high right river area as Cadis is going to get caught by Dan if he's not careful, but quick, nice, shoot sticky at feet, right click, get kill, as he's held up for a bit on the 100 health, as Salmon's just being a pest in this water area. Rake with a nice pick on Kyla. Cadis not really sure what's happening as he's getting flanked on all sides. Greg does take down the aggressive soldier, but meanwhile Rake with a nice flank on Skeege as he was on I think about 98% Uber. Really unfortunate for him, as looks like BFF's Q is just to get out, try and salvage as many players and just set up for this last point, as Jose is going to have about strong 70-80% Uber advantage. So things once again looking bad for BFF, but last time they were in this position they got 3 picks before Vinland practically even got in position, so same thing may happen this time.
Yeah, that was, again, kind of unfortunate. Skeege, I think, just lost a little bit of communication with his team. They wanted to push out, but these players went back to defend Cadis in the lobby. And the Uber comes in from top left. Again, they're just using the scouts with the Uber, trying to get some early picks. They pick up Greg nice and fast. And, again, Cadis with his defensive position on the point just manages to pick up a scout. And they're just taking this nice and defensive, but the soldier coming in from the water distracts a lot of attention onto the point, and that's really great play from them. The timing was perfect. Brought the whole of BFF down onto the point where they could just be spammed, and it's a good push from Vinland in the end.
Yeah, Vinland just had the 2-player advantage extremely early, taking those 2 picks. Even though Cadis was, like, good job by him to actually get 1 pick, it was just, that longer the fight went on, just favourable towards BFF, as Cadis rushing in through this low right area, actually sealing off Super. This is a huge advantage, as BFF have just got complete control over this point, and Vinland are probably just going to have to get out with not much confidence, as never mind, Dan's just coming through the lower area, does take down Skeege the medic, and just beautiful re-entry by Vinland. They do lose Delzik and Rake for their troubles. Meanwhile, Jose is actually healing Super the Demo Man, but that was just overall better played by BFF, as looks like they're going to cap up this midpoint. Flisco is just going to try and chase a duel with Dan.
And Dan's going to win that one. So Flisco goes down for this push, and it's 3 down for both teams. Skeege just had the Uber advantage. Jose did die in the mid fight, so Skeege did, he died earlier, but he spawned early obviously, so he has the advantage. I guess they're going to try and push early. It looks like they're trying to push up before they've even set up, so they're already in for a choke, and it looks like Vinland hasn't even realised, and the bomb comes in from Dalif. They're going to do big damage, and they take down Dan and Super. Dalif gets taken down in return with some quick shots from Delzik, but they lost a lot of players there with their poor awareness on the flank. And indeed, the BFF are going to take 4 players for that sort of lapse in concentration, I guess, from Vinland. They had nobody watching the choke, and BFF just made perfect use of that, really punished them.
Yeah, and they're going to charge him with this Uber advantage, coming up on 100% now. Looks like they're going to Uber through the lower main door with the scout and demo. Kyla just looking for the kill on the medic, that's the call. Jose does get taken down. Really strong positioning by BF here, just on this top right area. Meanwhile, Simon does take down Greg. Dan and Super with some good play here. Delv isn't there yet, so Good work by Vinland to delay this long, but Super is going to die eventually, and that equates the scores, bring us to a round total of 2-2, and with 10 minutes left, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, that's like the first real big team mistake I've seen. Like, I've seen some individual mistakes, like the Skis dropping Cadis in the Uber, but that was like a really big mistake from Vinland. Nobody watching the choke, they let him in, and they've pretty much just taken the last point for free because of that. Actually, coming in on this midpoint, Cadis is opting to go on this top right with the aggressive play like last time. The bombs have come in from the Vinland soldiers, but they're just not getting anything done. Skij is managing to dodge really well, and the defensive scouts are cleaning up on the frags. So Jose and Super are just really defensive. They're already all the way out of middle, and looks like Kylo and Flisco are just going to try and see if they can make something happen on the last point. Maybe force an Uber or pick a medic before he gets the Uber, perhaps. But I think they're just going to back off, take the second point, and maybe Vinland are going to try and defend with their Uber this time. The Ubers are equal, and they have a lot of presence. And I think Vinland are just going to hold on last point. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that. I would have liked to see them try and push out. They had the spawns and they had the Uber ready, but yeah, they're just going to play defensive. Deltic's sniping down the riverside, trying to see if he can get a pick nice and early. And Ski's just holding his Uber in the middle lobby, getting ready to, making his decisions on where to push. Flisco going for a pick on the riverside, doesn't manage to get it, and he has to drop back. And again, it just seems to be both teams just waiting for something to happen. Rate goes down, and that triggers the push from Skis. The Uber comes out, but Daleth dies in it, and they're just going to drop straight back out. Cadis just sticking up the riverside, playing defensive.
Yeah, nice work by Dana to actually take down Greg, who looks like he overextended, as Super does take down Kylo as well. So that's a 3-man advantage for Vinland as their spawn is coming, but Dan does get picked off by some stickies. So that's going to put a bit of stunt in the pushes. It looks like they're not even going to try and poke this area at all, despite BFF being down 3 players. So a bit, once again, timid play by Vinland, especially right now, as looks like BFF are just playing a lot more aggressively. As we saw in that rollout, just Cadis favoring these aggressive rollouts, and it's just paying off dividends as like they've won the last 2 rollouts in a row extremely convincingly. So nice work by him to adapt the play. As looks like sniper on both sides. Greg the offensive sniper. Meanwhile, it looks like Delzic's looking for a spy, but Greg with the full one shot is going to take down Jose. So that's going to start the push for BFF the next couple of seconds, and looks like Vinland are in a lot of trouble as they're just
they're actually going to get 2 frags before that happens. So in return for 1 sniper, they get the medic and both soldiers, and they're just going to come straight in with you. But there's just not a great deal they can do about this. The demo's all the way back in the spawn, so they can focus the point. And the cap time's in. Vinland are going to have to drop onto the point, and it's just going to be nothing for them. And that's really a crucial round. There's only 7 minutes remaining, or just over 7 minutes remaining in this game. So BFF with the advantage now, and if they get this midpoint, they can look to just sort of turtle it up on their last and pretty much slow down the game. Make Vinland have to struggle, have to stress out, and sort of take fights that they wouldn't otherwise take. And yeah, this midpoint, in fact, Cadis is just playing a bit more defensive on the ground, and Vinland are opting for the same rollout as BFF took last time. The bomb comes in from Flisco, and it's not been seen or called at all, and he takes down the medic. It's a really great bomb from him. Although, after that, cleaning up both scouts, and in fact, some great frags from Vinland have just swung the middle completely in their favour. Ski just caught completely out of position, and that's just a fantastic cleanup. It's one of those standard situations where your medic dies early, and your whole team knows that they have to go for the medic just to hold on to the round. So, Vinland, great coordination. They bombed in on the medic. On the rest of the players, they get lots and lots of frags nice and early, and then Ski's just caught out, not expecting to be left alone with just his demo man. And yeah, great mid for them. They've done really well to come back from the early deficit of Flisco's great bomb.
Yeah, that's the problem with just committing to a medic on a middle so early. It's just, sure, you get that medic who is like, the Uber charge in the hills, but the problem is, like, that player's going to die quickly. As nice work by BFF there to take down 4 players. This is just completely stunted their push, as Jose is going to be the only one that gets out. Skij is another casualty, but this is going to be a cap in mid for BFF, as despite almost all of them being in red health, that's just going to be able to cap in time, as Vinland had all died extremely late. 70% Uber advantage though for Jose, so really good Uber advantage for Vinland. Want to see if they're going to try and push into the second point soon, as Cadis does meet up with his medic Skij and just does start building up that Uber.
It looks like Flisco's just in choke at the moment, just causing them some trouble, directing some of their attention towards him, and yeah, they've sent 1 soldier to defend it, and I don't know, maybe in fact they're actually going for the push. Like I said, they want to try and take these fights nice and early now. They don't have a whole lot of time left. And they get a nice frag on Cadis early, but they've just overextended in the Uber, and they lose their scout and Roman soldier. So, while they still do have an advantage, Skij has the Uber advantage now, and he could look to just defend. But at the moment, it looks like Soldier's going to get picked off, and it's just Darn against Skeege, and Skeege just in the bottom lobby. And at the same time, Kylo for Fun goes down, so Skeege is just extended. But right now, they've got a back cap on, and are they going to block it? Yeah, they've already got the demo, and Soldier gone back for it. Flisker comes in for the bomb, but he's not going to get enough done. So the midpoint's going to go to Vinland, although Kada's trying to get something done, and this could be a big overextend from him. If he goes down, and he does to Darn, that's a big, crucial pick. Greg also, and it looks like that's going to trigger a push straight onto second point, and they have a big advantage. Kylo getting a nice return frag, but it's not going to be enough to stop the push.
Yeah, just well played by Vinland there, and just Kada's just getting caught completely off guard. Meanwhile, aggressive Uber coming out from Della. They're going to just try and get something done with this, but they're going to have to get out of there quickly as the cap is coming in, and Vinland with the much better Uber. As meanwhile, Salmon is on this river area, just being annoying towards this guy. He doesn't pick him.
Oh, he's going to pick the medic.
Just nice work.
Flisco just hiding in the lobby there, just walks around the corner and just finds the medic completely unprotected. A bit of luck from him, but a nice bit of DM just to finish him off. So that's a great pick, just to halt their push onto last. And maybe BFF are going to just turtle it up, knowing that they don't have a lot of time left, and then they're going to maybe start rushing their pushes. But they still do have 4 minutes to get around Vinland, so they don't need to start panicking yet. And they're in a strong position. But I guess Skeege with his 70-odd% Uber advantage, he's going to look to try and push out. And indeed, here they come from the top. So leading with Daleth on the pocket soldier and a scout. They're just going to try and bully them out of point, it seems. No, they're going to pop the Uber, and in fact, Salmon is opting to just go behind, where he manages to get. Yeah, they haven't really done a whole lot with this. They managed to get 1 pick, but they've got Salmon behind now, and I think Vinland are definitely going to try and hold on to this. They've got 1 scout rate going for a big pick on Skeege, and that left some great shotgun play just to medic alive.
Yeah, no, just that Uber not very being very fruitful was just what counted. As BFF just pushing in through this choke, actually looks like Cadis is by himself spamming his medic bind. Decent revenge for Jose though, and Vinland and co. So that's 3 minutes 20 seconds on the time, and as we were saying, 1 cap in favor of BFF. So Vinland still have an opportunity to make this happen. It's just they need to make sure they execute this Uber pretty much as well as they can. Try and look for a pick on the medic. As Ubering and leading on the scout, Super just trying to be annoying, try and catch that soldier, but KS is going to get caught out through this lower. No, he's not. He's going to get a nice pipe on the
Greg's going for a back cap play here on the second point, so he's already on that. That's going to bring a few players back, surely. And it looks like they're just very disjointed at the moment. The medic and demo coming back through the choke, and Greg's got a lot of cap time on this. I mean, he's just going to cause them hassle, and he gets taken down by Salmon, but he's really halted their push onto the midpoint. Having said that, they still have 3 players down, and well, yeah, they could try and push, but at the moment they don't have the Uber advantage, and Cadis is already up now, so the Uber comes out from Skeege. They're going to just try and bully them back out the point. Looks like Salmon's going to go down. He's very weak on the big door, but he's just jumping around with his equalizer, and in the process, Jose goes down. That's really a crucial pick for BFF. They can push on to second, take second point now, and really try and secure the game here. Cadis, though, going very aggressive, gets picked off early, and Skeege as well. So that's a little bit of a rush. It's just overextending, I guess. But the cleanup frags come in, and what can you say? Jose is the only one up, and that leaves BFF in a really strong position to push on to last. They're not going to have Uber advantage, but they can pretty much just turtle this out. Only 2 minutes remaining. In fact, the scout already comes in. They're just going to go very aggressive for the point. And I don't know if this is the right choice. If they lose too many players here, they could actually get wiped and pushed all the way back to last. The scouts have spawned for Vinland now. They're just going to take down the extra frag, and there's 3 players down. Surely Vinland are going to have to try and push BFF out now. With only 1.5 minutes remaining, they're really going to have to turn up the heat if they're going to try and get this round.
Yeah, they need to be pretty much flawless in their execution here. As Case is just being annoying, holding extremely aggressively. Spawn's coming in from BFF, coming in through that big door. ×5 cap coming in, down with the clutch shotgun on the flank. Meanwhile, there is going to just be the difference between this push right now. As Vinland just want to be pushing extremely quickly with this slight player advantage. 1 minute and 15 seconds is the time. And BFF
if they can catch the medic here with this Uber advantage, this is going to be absolutely crucial. But then Josie goes down to a sticky trap from Cadis, and that's absolutely massive for them. They're just going to come in, and are they going to try and defend this now? They're just going to hold onto their Uber, surely. And oh man, having said that, Super gets 2 brilliant frags on the choke, and that's really going to hold the push. And here's the back cap out from the Vinland scouts on the rake on the back cap. There's nothing really to stop him. He wins the 1v1 against the scout. This could be huge for them. Now the soldier comes in as well, and he's going to get cleaned up. So with only 47 seconds remaining, it looks like Vinland are really going to have to just take a push that they don't want to take. They're going to really just have to regroup and go for it. But BFF already know that they're in a weak position, and they're just going to try and cement their position, push them a little bit further back, and just deny them the time. There's only 30 seconds remaining, so the push really needs to happen now if it's going to happen.
Yeah, it needs to happen right now as Case is extremely aggressive on this big door. He's going to just seal off down. Davis is going to take him down. Meanwhile, Delzik pushing him from this choke here, that flank, as he does get taken down. Nice flank play by Flisco. And Vinland are just pulling off stops, trying to just hold W and get some frags, but they are getting killed themselves. And 10 seconds left. Yeah, that's all over for Vinland. And that's going to be 3-2 in favor of BFF. And that's a draw, essentially. And
that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate for Vinland, as they had an extremely good showing in Gully Wash, but just those aggressive rollouts by Cadis just made a difference towards the end there.
But they say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and with only 47 seconds remaining, they weren't trying to push onto their last. So I don't know why they weren't just going balls out aggressive. They really needed to, and it pretty much cost them the round. BFF were just able to turtle up on the second point. But I mean, it's well played from them. A couple of really good mid wipes managed to get them a couple of decent rounds. And let's just have a quick look at that log. Where are we? Yeah, good time. Oh, I'm having troubles with my games, so I can't get the log up just right now.
I found it. Looks like I'll just have a little look at it. Looks like Super and Cadis leading the way in damage, but Cadis with the 1,000 damage over Super, so that's 12, just under 12k in favor of Cadis, and with 32 frags to his name. Meanwhile, Super not getting too many frags himself, just doing a lot of damage, and just looks like overall BFF just got a lot more frags, but despite that, there were a lot of caps done by Vinland, and it wasn't the frags that really made the difference, I don't feel. I think it was a bit too in play a lot of the time. They just, yeah, as you were saying, needed to be a lot more aggressive in situations where they weren't being, and as a result, they just were giving up these literal advantages they had.
Yeah, looking at the logs again, like Cadis has got big damage, but it's not that much bigger than Super, and he has like 14 extra frags. So he really, Cadis was obviously picking off crucial players, and yeah, like you say, just the frags have gone pretty much all the way in favor of BFF. So while Vinland are doing damage, they're not really. I think it's just coming down to both teams. Neither team really focusing on the objective, so they're getting lots and lots of frags. Like from both teams, you've got a couple of 30s on. Sorry, 3 players are over 30 kills on BFF, and sorry, I lie. I've got just 2, but still, like they're getting. Everyone in the team is getting a lot of frags, and they're still not really leading by as much as you would expect. So I don't know. It's like teams just not really going for the objective, I suppose, and it coming down to a lot of DM. And like we said before, both teams are sort of filled with these great DM players, and it's going to come down to the coordination. And I think on this map, BFF really did slow things down, managed to take things and pace it as they wanted. And obviously on the first map, Vinland were just making better use of the advantages.
Fun thing to know is actually looking at the hill distribution, Kate is taking actually more than his pocket soldier, which you pretty much never see in competitive play unless it may be on Viaduct. He actually took 47% of the hills, or 3,789, compared to his pocket soldier, who took 2,395. That's a pretty big hill difference there, and I don't know, I wouldn't like to say that would be the difference, because I hate to see a demo man taking a lot more heals than a soldier, but you know, despite taking all those heals, he didn't do that much more damage than Super, and just Super definitely came into his own on that both maps, really, just playing really well despite, you know, taking a lot less heals than his demo man counterpart on BFF.
Yeah, he's just done well with the. I mean, Super's done well with the heals he had. He had, like you say, he's had much fewer heals than Cadis was, but he was getting the frag. So I don't know. Like I say, both teams are very DM orientated, and yeah, a lot of frags were coming out from both teams. But like I said, I think in this case, BFF just focused on the objective a little bit better. Got the caps when they needed, and obviously caps win games. So I'm going to see if I can get someone from one of the teams to come and have a talk to us. So I can get Cadis if I can.
So if you're just joining us, unfortunately you just missed ETF2L Season 15 Blackout Gaming. That was sponsored by Blackout Gaming, excuse me. That was Skidmark Central, formerly known as BFF or Node Party, or insert some other name here, versus Vinland. A pretty strong showing by both teams. Vinland with the first map win on 3-2 on Badlands, which is the first map, and BFF with the retaliation map taking down Gullywash 3-2. So even scores by both teams on both maps, and that's actually an equal draw, which is quite interesting to note.
I think Cadis is going to come join us and just tell us what he thought of that game. I mean, I don't think he's going to be happy with that result. I think they were expecting to come out with a stronger performance, and even the map they won was very close, obviously 3-2 on both maps. So I think they're going to be a bit disappointed about that. I'd like to see what they're going to try and change up for their future officials, because in my view, with the lineup they have, something went wrong for them today, and it wasn't that Vinland were playing decently, but I think the BFF just could have stepped it up a bit more than they really did. So yeah, I'm just going to hear from him. He should be joining Mumble anytime. So yeah, hopefully he has some insight for us as a team leader he can try and do to step things up in the further officials.
So just bear with us, guys, while we try and get Cadis in for a little interview.
Yeah, he says he's on his way. Actually, going to be right back. I'll just actually, as I say it, Cadis joins. So Cadis, can you hear us all right?
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm alright, mate.
So obviously that wasn't the result you were looking for. You wanted to come out with a stronger performance, I guess, and take the win from Dan's team. So what do you think went wrong? What did they do right? What were you not doing that you've been doing in PCWs? Because having played against both teams yesterday, I'd definitely say you were the better team.
Yeah, don't really know, to be honest. It's kind of all just a blur to me. We definitely didn't have our best day. I think it kind of comes down to the fact that they're a Dan team at the end of the day. And my opinion on Dan teams are pretty much always the same. They're never a team that's going to be the best, but they're never a team that you can underestimate either, because when they have a good day, they can really cause you problems. So today, I think it's kind of like, it's a case of they had quite a good day for them, and we had quite a bad day for us. Like, I kind of put it down to the fact that, I don't know, it's like our first match together as a team, so there was some tension, like some nerves that we don't experience in PCWs. We weren't really, like, you know what I mean? Like when you're nervous in a game and you play the mids, like in situations where we normally would have been like, fuck it, ooh, pardon me. In situations where we would only been like, yeah, we can do this, like just, playing confidently. We were playing like, oh god, can we do this? Can we do this? Waiting for like something to tell us what to do. And at the end of the day, that thing always telling us what to do was another player getting picked. So then we just have to back out. Like, we were just kind of caught like deer in headlights. Like, we didn't really, the confidence wasn't really there today.
I mean, obviously, like in our first official, we got smashed by CC, so it's a similar situation. Obviously, you have a little bit more cohesion in your team because a few players have stuck around, but it's essentially a new lineup. It's in its infancy, so yeah, I guess it's just some teething issues. Maybe obviously the scout pair of Kylo and Greg's just a new thing. I guess that seemed to be working okay for that game. Greg got caught out, I felt, a few times, but in general, it wasn't like they were getting severely outmatched by the Vinland scouts, which of course I wasn't expecting anyway. So, how do you feel in general about the lineup? I mean, like I say, Greg's just joined you guys, so how's that been working out for you?
It's good. Like, I see the potential in it at the end of the day. Like, I felt before we took Greg, we had this really big issue of a really limited range of comms in the team. It felt like all like, for what I mean when I say like Prem level comms, it really felt like it was only really around like the combo where there was good comms coming from, and between Bevan and Kyler, I felt like the comms weren't really up to scratch. So that's kind of Greg coming in's fixed that a lot, but at the end of the day, Kyler's quite a new scout to this level. I mean, he's played Prem before, but there's Prem, and then there's like top Prem, which is where we're not really there at the moment, but it's where we're looking to get. And Greg's just coming back. Like, you gotta remember, that's Greg's first match in Prem for like God knows.
Yeah, since I-46, right? That was when he was it even before then that he stopped playing. Was
I
he
think
playing
so.
for,
Yeah. Like,
was he playing for Infused at I-46? I forget.
no, he played for QN at I-46, but he was only in there for a little while. He didn't even play much before then.
Yeah.
The first map, we really had some problems. Like, this isn't excuses, but this really upset our flow. Like, first the DDoS, obviously, and then we had to pause again because our Mumble was being attacked. So in mid-push, none of us could come. It was a push I personally felt like we definitely would have won. So that really demoralized us. Like, it's like, oh, we could have had that, but then suddenly it's just like, the warpy comms.
Yeah, it's a shame. As everyone knows, it's pretty much TF2 can be a real game of momentum, and if you get your momentum cut by that kind of thing, DDoS or losing your mumble or whatever, then it can really affect you, I guess.
Yeah, it was a frustrating day. Like, I'm not too broken up about it. I always expected problems in our first match, like especially when like we aren't really that stable at the moment. I mean, we have our stable roster now, but it felt like over the past month, every week we've had to bring in someone new, and that's like the story of like the last year of TF2 for me, to be honest. So I hope it's the end of it. But when you go into a game like that, never played a match with your team before, but somehow you're the like general favorites, it adds that extra bit of pressure, and I don't really think we coped very well with it today. I'm really glad that we actually switched mumbles though, because I had to get a little bit rowdy, I think, on Gully Wash to pull us back into it.
Yeah, well, we were commenting on you having more heals than a pocket soldier in that game, so I guess you were really taking the reins, trying to lead the team. There were a couple of mistakes. I mean, obviously there was the one issue where Skis dropped you on the choke, and that really cost you probably the round. But I mean, obviously you won the map in the end, so you managed to hold it together. So I respect for that. But yeah, I mean, I guess your attitude going into the second map must have been pretty down in the dumps. So maybe give some advice to budding team leaders. What can you do to try and get the team attitude back into what a winning attitude from having lost a map that maybe you weren't expecting to lose, or maybe you were expecting to have a close game, but have a ultimately to win the map.
Well, between the two maps, it was just a case of like, right, forget all the nonsense from the first map, like the DDoSing, the mumble lag, and just like we should have, like, basically the story was we should have won it. We didn't, so let's make sure like we let everyone know that we should have won the first map with our performance in the second. But up to halfway through the second map, I really felt like we weren't putting a shift in there either. So I just took a tip from my buddy Ips, and I started screaming at everyone like a hooligan. And from that moment on, we felt pretty much in control of the game. I think it lit a fire in people, and they kind of realized like they kind of just got stuck in a rut, just like lost their confidence, so they were just playing on autopilot. But I feel like when you get really vocal and let everyone know it's not good enough, they kind of wake up. And I feel like that's what happened up to the last few minutes of the map, where it got a bit shaky again. I felt like we were in control of Gully Wash.
Obviously, the pressure's on. Then it's 3-2, and while they have the pressure to try and push you, you still have the pressure that they're going to come aggressive as anything, and you've got to try and withstand that. And I mean, you did. They made a few crucial errors, and obviously you took the round. So yeah, well played for that. And yeah, you go into your next official. Who do you have in week 2?
We have CC tomorrow actually, which I'm very much looking forward to now after that.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you're not favourites for that game. Obviously, CC I expect would be expected to win that. So. I guess that would be a nicer change of play. There isn't the pressure there. So, you think you can get a result out of that? I mean, how have you been doing against CC and PTWs?
It's been okay. Like, Badlands has been a bit iffy. Gully Wash, we've had some decent, I don't think we've actually beat them, but Gully Wash, we've had some decent scores against them at least. I mean, I'm sure they're going to come all guns blazing and probably destroy us, but it's nice just to go into a game, like, as a relatively new team and know that you don't have to win it, and that ultimately it doesn't matter if you don't win it. But I think, results aside, I think everyone did good today. Like, for my boys, like, I'm happy that we got that out of the way with, and we got at least the 3 points out of it. Like, the 6 would have been what we expected, but ultimately, like, 3 points it does the job for now. So
yeah, and at this early stage in the season, it's not the biggest deal to lose points. So, I mean, obviously, you want to try and get as many points from every round, but I suppose this opens up quite a bit of competition in the season now. So, we're expecting like you guys and I don't know, maybe someone from the bottom four to try and contest for this 4th place for the playoffs. So I mean, having just played against Vinland, obviously you played against us a little bit in PCW. I don't know how much you played against LMS and Solar. How do you see that panning out? Do you think ultimately you'll be able to get the spot, or do you think some of these other teams might come out with some impressive results? How do you think the competition's going to be this season compared to last season, perhaps where it was a little bit one-sided?
I think it's going to be kind of the same story, to be honest. Like, for the last couple of seasons, I've always felt like the team I'm in is going to bridge the gap between the top teams and the teams below it. Like last season, we also dropped a map to Dan's team. I think, like, particularly this season, like Dan's team, Vinland, they were like my bogey team because we've never played them. Like, I didn't know what to expect from them at all. So I really, like, it's not good for, like, confidence going into a game when you really, like, you feel like they probably know you just because, like, because half of the players, I don't even know half their players at the end of the day. So, like, that was kind of a dodgy one for us. But, like, I feel like I know the other teams and I feel like we can comfortably beat the other teams. And just having that feeling at the end of the day, that's half the battle in TF2, I think. And we didn't have that today. So that's why I say, like, I'm glad we got 3 points and got that out of the way with, because it really was, like, the bogey game for us.
Yeah, well, I've been told by Huey to try and cut things off. So, Yuki, have you got any closing remarks?
No, that's pretty much it. It was just a close game on both sides, and yeah, I guess good luck to both teams and the next couple of matches of the season and for the whole season, I guess. And thanks to Cadis for joining us.
My pleasure, man.